Hello and welcome everyone to the Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition All Skills Tournament. My name is Richard, and I am joined here today by the one and only Trojan Dude 12. How are you doing today, Trojan?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We have a wonderful match ahead of us between some very good runners.
Yes, it is between Hetfield90, who is the number one seed, and the current record holder, fresh off of a new world record as well, against the number 8 seed, do_Raziel. And I'm really excited for this race. It is a battle across the pond, Hetfield from the U.S. and Raziel from Portugal. And this is an interesting race because for a couple of reasons. One, both of these guys have been going back and forth and being able to actually run Ori actively. Het's been working on Mega Man Zero as well, on top of also running Ori, doing Ori runs. And Raziel's had a lot of work stuff and trying to squeeze in as much practice as possible. So this, I'm really excited for this race.
Yep, this is going to be one of the most exciting matches in the Ori division. Hetfield having to avenge Mr. Asmus's loss to Fant in the early rounds. And as you can see here, Hetfield is just a beast at this game, having an average of 32.56. Can you believe that, Trojan?
It's pretty asinine, I'm not gonna lie. To think that he's got he has a better average than any of my tournament race times from last night. So yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. And just kind of going off of the stats here, both these guys, there's not, obviously, because Hetfield's the world record holder, he's only had that 10-second improvement that he just got today.
This morning, actually.
This morning, that's correct, this morning. Thank you for correcting me. And then Raziel has about 2 minutes since the tournament started. And the other thing going for Het is that he has been running this game a lot longer, like almost a full year longer than Raziel. So that's definitely something in favor of having the experience in these race settings and consistency.
Yeah, for sure. But, we have seen so many players like Raziel, like Elo Jiminy, that have just improved so much since the beginning of this tournament. It's pretty crazy to see. And as you can see, Raziel's PB lower than Het's average. So we could be seeing an upset here. It is possible.
Yeah, and let's take a moment, now that we've kind of hashed out a bit of the overview, let's take a moment to figure out how we got here, since we are now in the quarterfinal phase. So starting off with Het, he was in the same group as Odeon, Mr. Asmus, and Rufus. And he did his first match against Odeon and won that by about 9 minutes, but that was actually his worst showing as far as tournament time. He got his second worst one. It was 33.26. Then he followed that up a couple days later where he did 2 matches in the same day, and he got a 32.10 against Mr. Asmus, and then a 32.26 against Rufus. So he ended up going 3-0, came out as the number 1 seed from his group. Then, had a very long break. He did all this stuff early so he could take care of some other stuff he even wanted to learn. Then he comes back, does the round of 32 against Fant with that avenging of Fant's win over Mr. Asmus, beating Fant by about almost 6 minutes. And then he had his round of 16 match finally against Gramilios and won that 32.50 to 37.14. So far in the tournament for Hetfield, he hasn't had too much of a competition. I guess this is his first match where we can kind of look and say, okay, now he's getting a little bit of pressure put on him to actually perform well. Do you want to continue and talk about a little bit how Raziel got here?
Yeah, if we actually want to talk about kind of exciting groups, Raziel in his group was the favorite going into the Raziel Brynhold 2 match, and surprisingly enough, Brynhold was able to take an upset there. Brynhold, kind of the result of a lot of exciting matches in this tournament, with that match against Raz. Brynhold also played against Cheese and had an insane match there, and then ultimately losing to Mr. Randomson in the round of 32. So Raziel has kind of had this kind of back and forth with a lot of players in this tournament, but his bracket stage has actually been pretty clear cut, with playing against Rufus and then actually against Icex, who upset J-Hobbs. So Raziel in the bracket stage has had a pretty easy route up till this match against Hetfield. So we'll see how they do as we start up this race pretty soon.
Yeah, the pressure is really put on onto these guys now, since this is kind of their first big kind of clash in this tournament. Whereas you wouldn't see that too much in some of the other matches in this round of 8. But I'm like super looking forward to this. So we will be starting up here very, very shortly.
And so what do you kind of think Raziel's chances here are against Het? Because it seems like Raziel, probably having put in a little bit more time than Het, at least in the last, maybe week or so, well, Het's been kind of practicing Mega Man Zero in conjunction with Ori.
Yeah, I think he's got a puncher's chance, and I think I'll leave it there. Hetfield is very solid at getting into a good mindset for these races generally, and why he's been able to pull out such an insane average, despite the fact he goes for some really insane strats at some portions of it. Now, I know in his world record he goes for certain strats, and he has already stated that he does not go for things like fast Frankie walk in a race setting, because he doesn't think it's a race strat, even though some other racers will actually go for it. So that's going to give Raziel a little bit less of a chance, because Hetfield is tapering his strats a little bit to be a little more consistent in a race setting.
For sure. And also, Het with a nice color code here. It seems like he's got a fairly pink Ori. So that just gives him another advantage over Raziel.
Yeah,
Playing
he
with
actually
the
got
UI
the same
on,
thing I got yesterday.
actually.
Yeah, and so they're coming up to the Frankie fight right here. If I remember correctly, I believe both of these guys mash, but we will see. There's a difference.
I know
opinion on
Hetfield
whether,
does.
Yeah, I think Raziel does too. Yes, Raziel also does mash as well, with timing the first shot and then mashing too after that. And Raziel actually getting a slight lead, maybe a half a second coming out of that Frankie fight, but both were very, very clean in that fight.
Yeah, and now Hetfield, known for his, very clean movement. That's how he's able to shave so much time off of Ori over pretty much every single other runner.
Yeah, and we already see a shift at the start. Now, the one thing I will mention, that it looks like Hetfield got ahead right here, but Raziel actually killed more of the brambles right before Blackroot Burrows, so he will be able to go through that a little bit quicker than Het when they do the return trip, as I believe both of them like to level up on the way out, which is why they can kill some of those brambles after wall jump.
Yep, so Het unfortunately grabbing a health drop there, having to take 2 hits to that slime instead of taking 2 hits in the poison water. And as you can see here, we're going to see both players go for 3 health. Not sure if I've seen Raziel in this tournament do 3 health.
Yeah, I'm actually really shocked. I did not think that. It was a nice dodge by Raziel right there. That was a swag backflip. But yeah, I did not think that Raziel was going to go for 3 HP, but he feels like he needs that 8 seconds to keep even with Hetfield in this early game, which I don't blame him, especially when you're going up with someone as good as Hetfield. But that's definitely a very risky strat, so we'll have to see how it pays off over the course of this race.
Yeah, Raziel probably thinking he's got to pull out all the stops here, and it might actually be true, because, knowing that Hetfield PB'd literally today, it might, cause a little bit of concern in Raziel's mind as they come in here to wall jump about 3 seconds apart.
Yep, 3 seconds. Yeah, so sorry, continue on your train of thought.
Oh yeah, so it looks like Hetfield with just a little bit cleaner movement here, coming from sign to wall jump, taking a lead here. We'll see if Raz is able to kind of keep up with Het.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, Hetfield leveled on the way down instead of up. Oh, as Raziel takes a little bit of vault damage right there. Yeah.
Fine.
So that means he actually needs to grab. Ooh, he's gonna have to kill these slimes, I think, since he went 3 HP.
Yep.
Unless he wants to take.
Oh, Raz. Okay.
Okay, no, he's good. So he's having a bit of problems, but he did the right thing. Dying right there is worse, so he took it slow. He got a little extra experience from it, so he'll probably have to check his experience after he gets into BRB, because not only did he get the explosion, the Bramble explosion experience, but also the experience from a bunch of those enemies right there and the 5 flower that respawned. So he might only have to kill 1 slime in Blackroot Burrows, so we'll have to look out for that.
Yep, and as they come into Blackroot Burrows here, it looks like Raziel's around 8 seconds behind. So, fortunately not taking the health. He would have been 16 seconds behind Hetfield, even, just with all that clean movement that Het has. So we'll see. Blackroot Burrows is a very kind of unnerving area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, everything is cycle based, so some off movement can actually ruin the cycles for you. And there's a couple areas where, since these guys are at 3, there's spikes at this area right here that actually do 3, so you have no ability to adjust at all.
Yeah, and as you can see, Raz here gaining a little bit of time just due to Hetfield's kind of mishap on his save anywhere. So now we can just see that they're just so close to each other.
That's right. Still got trolled a little bit by the orb right there. What actually was out of range of where he could pick it up as he was trying to keep his movement going. But yeah, only a couple seconds difference between these guys. I think they're on the same cycle right now. Raziel getting there a little bit earlier than Het. So yeah, it looks like about a 3-second difference right now between them. So this race is still incredibly close as we're starting to come towards the dash tree right now.
Yeah, and let's just keep in mind that it is very difficult to keep up with Het, as pretty much any player in this game, and Raz doing a really good job so far in the first portions of this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the manips are for both of these guys on the cycles. So Het's was actually pretty docile. Actually, both of them had about the same amount of manips, so no time gained or lost right there by either runner. That was a surprisingly docile manip from Het. I thought he was going to go for something a bit more aggressive, but he wanted to really play it safe right there. Oh boy, Raziel. Okay. That was really close. I thought with that initial hop, he wasn't going to make it over that laser, but he barely squeaks it out.
Yep, and now 3 seconds behind is Raziel. And just to talk a little bit about both of their PBs in their dash splits, Het had a 7:14 and Raz with a 7:17. So, with that 3-second difference that they have right now, they're kind of keeping pace relative to their skill level, at least for their PBs.
Yeah, definitely. So there won't be also too much separation between their PBs. Looking forward to the double jump split, there's about an 11-second separation, or no, I'm sorry, 2-second separation in their current PBs. So that's another thing. Maybe Raziel can keep it close right here. And man, it is super. These guys are almost frame for frame. And actually, Raziel, it does become frame for a second there, because Raziel got a better boost through that slime. So now Raziel takes a slight lead coming out of Blackroot right there. So man, we've really got a race on our hands going to Frankie Walk.
Yeah, for sure. Raziel, despite having woken up maybe 20 minutes ago, being able to stay toe for toe with Het, that is quite a feat for being waking up at 1 a.m.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and that's why you leave one hit on the Frankie boys and girls, because he got a little bit trolled right there. So Het takes a little slight lead again. I mean, this is incredibly close. Actually, with the level ups, it's almost like time. Oh my God. I actually don't know what is going on right now. This is seesawing more than a children's playground. I don't know what's going on.
I'll tell you what's going on is that they're going to be going into their attempts at early grotto cycle. And this is actually a very interesting thing. Het has kind of been back and forth on it. He's gotten it 3 times and missed it twice. Meanwhile, Raz has actually just missed it every single race. So we'll see, if both of these players manage to do it.
What was that, Raziel? Oh, they both get it, by the way.
Nice. Still staying close to each other.
What was that dash glide by Raziel? This guy's a madman. He's at 1 HP. Those spikes would have killed him. That was insane. Oh my goodness. And both get the quick spider shot as well. So man, they are almost again frame for frame. Raziel decided to take it a little safer on the way down by going to the left wall. He didn't like his position right there. So definitely playing it smart. We've got about maybe a 2-second difference. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, it seems like Het maybe around 8 seconds behind his PB right now. Raz is also around 8 seconds behind his PB, surprisingly enough, and we'll be seeing how they do in their grotto skip. Now, this is something that Het has been really comfortable with throughout the entire tournament, not having missed it at all. Meanwhile, Raz is one of his races. He managed to get a 5th try grotto skip, so hopefully he doesn't have any trouble here.
And Het gets it really nice. Oh, Raziel did not get it. Let's see if he gets the setup on second try. Yes, good job by Raziel right there. Still relatively clean.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is some
Raz going over to the left there.
From,
yeah.
Left wall love, man. I mean, apparently it's not just the end of Ginso escape like I like to do. It's apparently a grotto skip area as well.
Yep, and as we see here, Het opening just a little bit wider of a lead as Raz is having a little bit of difficulty climbing up this vertical section. Around 7 seconds, it looks like. 10 seconds, even.
Let's see if Raziel gets a better slow load skip. He gets a slightly better slow load skip than by Het, maybe by like a second. So that's a little bit of time made up right there. As Hetfield goes through one of the cutscenes that we allow to go through over the course of this run. He's going up to the iceless area for the first time, as both of these guys are just kind of mirroring each other right now. Other than the second try grotto skip versus the first try, these guys have had pretty similar like constant movement, which has been really awesome to see in this early game.
Yeah, for sure. And as we come into this area for Het, this is a very high execution area. There's a lot of kind of precise jumps that he has to get around to get this ability cell, and just a lot of clean movement that can be done to get through here as fast as possible. We'll see if Rez is able to get up here as well, as Het coming over to this teleporter, going to be very quickly going on that for the end of the game.
Up as he gets a little bit of a weird kind of vault off that a little lip in the wall. He does get the rekindle off, so he did get the save. Raziel takes a bit of damage, so he has to kill the slime, so he can't do the damage boost. But he does get a health drop. Good guy slime right there. So he will not be going into Ginso with 1 HP, and he won't have to feel bad.
Yep. Meanwhile, we'll see Het here entering, and it looks like Raziel entering 11 seconds behind Het. So from the teleporter to entering Ginso, it seems like they actually didn't even lose time on, or Raz didn't lose time on Het, which is kind of surprising, noting that he had to kill that slime.
Yeah, and actually, so Het had a little bit of trouble with the telehops, but Raziel also had a bit of spaghetti right there, so they both equally lost a little bit of time. So I think the difference is about the same between the two of them. I think Raziel actually dropped a cycle with some of that movement, so Hetfield actually going for the Mr. Asmus cycle over here.
As he
dropping
is
a
Mr.
save.
Asmus's biggest fan.
Dude, of course. There's no way he wouldn't go for it to avenge Mr. Asmus.
Yeah, and we'll see if Raziel goes for the same thing here, as he does take the damage boost, so he is going to go for it?
I don't think the setup was proper. Let's see if he still gets it. And he does. Very nice.
He does get it, but he had to go through the teleporter and then back through to die. So I'm not sure if it was faster, because it saves less than a second if you do it properly.
Mm-hmm. And he's also, with that save, he's also at 1, actually. So he's got to be a little careful on this mini-boss. As Hetfield's going through the mini-boss as well, gets a very clean mini-boss himself. I didn't notice if it was a 5 or a 6 cycle. But yeah, very, very nice job. Raziel should be on the last one, and he does get a solid mini-boss as well from Raziel. So both guys doing a very nice job with that mini-boss.
Het took a hit to the spikes in the room prior to this one, so making sure that he doesn't get hit in this room is very important. As he does get his...
Yeah, didn't get the hyperspeed out of there, but did set up the Ghost Door properly, so good job from Hetfield. Raziel will be taking his damage boost and doing his Ghost Door to end this out. And he gets it. Very nice. All right.
Yeah, with a 14-13 bash from Het, it looks like Raziel is around 15 seconds behind Het, and both of them are around 10 or so seconds. Het's behind his PB. Raz is actually ahead of his PB.
Really?
Bash by 5 seconds.
Very nice. And so they're both coming up to the key dupe area right now. Hetfield does his kind of own unique strat. He, instead of taking the damage boost on the spikes on that vertical shaft, he decides to kind of dash into those off the bash. And
Raz! Oh my god. He didn't quite make it up the spike wall here. And so luckily, realizing that he wasn't going to make it, kind of fell back down so that he didn't die.
And he does the aim as well. Oh no, he's too far away. Oh no, unfortunate from Raziel right there. There's a very specific spot, and he takes another death, unfortunately. There's a very specific spot you need to fall, and that's just to the left of that little lodge. Yeah, he's the problem Raziel's having right now. He's actually bashing too high, and if you go into the kind of the thick part of those spikes right there, you'll actually get kind of caught in there, and you can't continue to wall jump. So that's kind of what's happening. So yeah, see, it's still happening to him. So Hetfield's now he made quick work of the second mini boss and core skip, and he is almost at about a 16-minute core explosion, which is really sweet pace from Hetfield right now.
Yeah, for sure. As Raziel comes into the mini boss here, you know, those couple kind of blunders that he had made are gonna cost him a lot. Even against Het, it's gonna be really difficult to make this up with a 48-second difference right now. Yeah,
so see, about 2 or 3 big mistakes right there, really costing Raziel a lot of time. And again, Hetfield's really looking like he's in his zone right now. And especially against someone of this caliber, you can't make those types of mistakes, especially early on in the game, over and over, and try and expect to come back.
Yep, counting on one of the best Ori runner to make a mistake is never a wise bet to make. And so Raz going to have to not only play out of his mind, but hope that Hetfield messes up along the way.
Yeah, definitely. And so Hetfield got out of the Ginso escape around 17:01, so really great pace from him. And Raziel taking a little bit of damage. He's been, I think, trying to make up for some of his mistakes, and I think he's trying to cut a few too many corners right now.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it's his play.
Yeah, you know, maybe after taking that death in Kidu, maybe he's a little bit flustered now, and so hopefully he can just kind of focus his mind and get through the rest of this run and hopefully catch up to Het, who just got a 1740 stomp, it looks like.
Yeah, somewhere around there for Hetfield. That's really insane pace, honestly.
10 seconds behind his PB right now.
Against PB, 10 seconds. Yeah, I know he's been on blistering pace. It like outside of maybe a couple minor issues, he's been just barreling through these sections like it's nobody's business. So he's coming up to drainless right now, and he's going to set up the save anywhere, everything is good, and he stomps perfectly. So Raziel, they did a bit of a high five right there. And so now Hetfield is trying to increase his gap while Raziel is trying to catch up. Some pretty solid movement from Raziel so far in this section.
Yeah, meanwhile,
damage boost.
As he gets stomped, Het's going to be heading up towards Kuro cutscene skip. And this is actually a trick that he's missed once in the tournament, in contrast to Raziel, who actually missed it 3 out of his 5 races. But Het getting it this time, and hopefully when Raz gets to it, he'll be able to get it as well. Het also going to be going for the 5th energy cell, as we've seen pretty much every runner transition to at this point in the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. It just does a really good number on whether you want to, or gives you the variety if you want to actually do it for more safety saves or do it for additional movement depending on the matchup you're in. And so it gives you, like, again, a lot of flexibility as you go on in this race.
Yeah, and as Raz does his drainless, it seems like Raz over a minute behind now, and for previous races, a minute could be made up. But against Hetfield, it might not be able to be made up at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's getting to be a bit much. He'd pretty much have to get Sad Celis and mess up I guess like a crazy juggle a few times, and that might allow Raziel the amount of time, as Raziel does get Kuro cutscene skip right there. So both guys getting a great job by both of them.
Yep. And so meanwhile, Raz gonna get this 5th energy as well. So unfortunately, getting Kuro cutscene skip, he's not losing time, but he's not gaining time either. Just with Het's clean movement through all these sections.
Yeah, and just seeing him throw some ninja jumps in there just proves why, like, Hetfield is just a kind of a mechanical god, and that's why we joke he's a robot programmed to destroy everyone's hopes and dreams in Ori.
Yeah, as he comes to fast stompless here, which, like a robot, has not missed it at all in this tournament yet. And when Raz gets to it, he's missed it once.
Oh, that's a bit of a slow shot from the spider. Let's see if he's good, and he is good. Okay, I was getting just a tad bit concerned, but pretty good, very, very clean shot setup from Hetfield right there. That was very flawless from him.
Yeah, very nicely done.
As Raziel is coming up to Valley of the Wind right here to set up his end of his mid game. Does take another bit of damage right there from that bird. So let's see if he decides to take a safety save anywhere to avoid dying to another one of those shots. As Hetfield is coming up on Sorrow Bash right now. And let's see if he does the fast setup. He is. So he's going to go up there, stomp to set up his initial double bash. And do a couple bashes and a charge dash. And man, he just makes it look so easy.
Yeah, and he's going to be doing crazy juggle here. And so this is something that he's actually missed once in the tournament. So hopefully he's going to be able to kind of get through this time. As Raziel going to be going into his fast stompless here. Hopefully he gets it.
So he's going to wait a little bit. He's going to... one of the things that you'll notice Hetfield doing is he doesn't... while that frog is at the platforms, great job by Hetfield. He actually does get the crazy frog juggle. He goes back for the stop, and he is up there. That was insanely clean from Hetfield right there. So what he's doing right there, if you couldn't tell, if you blink, it's already done. But what he's doing is he's doing within a 2-frame window. He's doing essentially a C-dash stomp cancel while followed up by a bash with some hotkeys, and it allows him to be able to not damage the frog outside of the regular bash damage, which is much less than a C-dash amount. So that's like something that was found relatively recently, and he made it look incredibly easy, and it is not at all easy.
Yeah, for sure. As Het here, getting his Ghost Door, he's going to be getting Charge Dash here at around 23:15, so 1 second actually ahead of his PB right now. So he is on 30 pace.
Yes, he is, and yeah, no, this is crazy right now. As Raziel right now is at 2 HP because he dropped that save before he leveled up the double regroup to get 2 HP back. So right now he is at 2 HP, and he's still deciding to not go for this other setup. He's really looking very tentative with his movement right now, and he does get the bird in the correct position. Okay, he does get the Sorrow Bash that time. That was about 4th try for him.
A little bit early. I think he must have had an input there, having to float up a little bit more. As so Het now in Misty.
Oh no, he used... oh no, Raziel!
Oh no!
He didn't know what to do right there, because I think he realized he C-dashed on accident, and he burned an energy, so I think he thought he didn't have the necessary energy. And man, he's getting a little bit infinited right now by Sorrow and by Sorrow Pass, and this is unfortunate to see right now at this junction in the race.
Yeah, and so Hetfield here, going through Misty Woods, we've got word from Sigma-sin in our truck, who's actually said that Het did not learn 5 energy strats for Misty, so that he would take 5 energy in races and make safety saves with them, which he did at the beginning. And making it to climb now, he's pretty on par with his PB right now. His PB had a 24:55 climb, so really insane pace by Het here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is just, again, like I said, he is barreling through these sections right now. He's making quick work of everything.
Making another death here.
Yeah, Raz unfortunately is about on his, I'd say, 9th or 10th try. Another safety save from Het. That's an interesting one. He decides to put it before this laser section instead of after. Just kind of not too much of a difference. I guess it's a little safer because in case you mess up your jump anywhere, you don't actually die. Oh, and so right there, safety save is worth it right there a little bit. So unfortunately, I don't think he's on 30 pace anymore. It's going to be close, but he's still on probably mid to low 31 pace at this point.
Yeah, his final few splits did include a gold in his light burst split, so unfortunately Het probably losing too much time to get a 30 now, but could still put up a low 31, which for a race is pretty crazy.
Yeah, as he goes directly into the meatball right there. I thought he was going to actually die.
Raz here kind of just making his way through Sorrow Pass.
Yeah, he decided to forego Crazy Juggle at all because he had been infinited by it. He takes a safety save, and he decides to do regular Frog Juggle right here. So unfortunately for Raziel, it looks like on top of other things with the Kidu, Sorrow Pass was his demise in this race, and it'd have to take something extremely catastrophic from Hetfield right now, but it doesn't look like it the way that Hetfield is chugging along.
Yep, Het now going to be going into Blackroot Burrows and getting the most overpowered skill in this game.
Yeah, dude, especially with the new tech that has come out. Do you want to explain that tech a little bit, Richard?
Yeah, so with Light Grenade, there is kind of a momentum carrying trick that you can use, I guess you can call it. It's similar to rocket jumping in that you're able to kind of maintain a charge, but the charge works a little bit differently. So after you get climb, for anyone that's played this game casually, you're able to hold on to walls and then hold a charge jump on the wall. And an interesting property of Light Grenade is if you press Light Grenade, wait, hold on, Het Het, what is Het doing?
Het messed up his charge dash, so he burned his energy while dropping his save anywhere. So he had to get the extra energy right here. And
Fair
he's going to do
enough.
the normal setup.
But
again, he is human. He can make mistakes.
all right, so Het making it through. Anyways, he can pretty much press light grenade as he's holding his charge on a wall, and then 1 frame later, press the jump button to grenade jump and basically maintain all the speed that he had from a charge off the wall and go really, really fast, be able to skip an end part of the game, the final cutscene. It looks like Het, probably knowing he's ahead at this point, trying to get a grenade jump here. And he does
get it. Nice, very nice. You can see it right there. Oh, and an interesting charge dash right there. Back to the wall, bro. That was kind of interesting. I don't think I've quite seen that one ever before. And is he going to?
Het?
Oh my.
Wow! What was that? That was insane.
Oh, Hetfield! Good God! What are you doing, man?
All right, Het is alive. That's what matters most. He's getting some more energy.
All right, very nice. Okay, he's out of Black Root. Okay, that was the spookiest section coming out of there I think I've ever seen. But we're gonna move on as he's going now towards the entrance to the final dungeon, Mount Horu, and you'll see he's gonna throw in a couple more grenade jumps, I believe. One is gonna be right here. Unfortunately, misses it. So Annie burned the energy, so he's gonna move on from it, and is going to get a bit more energy. He's going to probably try and do 1 more coming up here. Actually, maybe 2 more.
There's one that you can go over. You can go over both of these laser enemies. It looks like Het opting not to go for it. You can actually kind of go over this block section that Het's under right now, but opting not to go for that grenade jump. Just wanting to finish up this run.
Yeah, definitely.
As he comes into Door Warp here, go ahead, Trojan.
Yeah, so Door Warp, the first of the last couple frame perfect tricks. I mean, I guess the grenade jump is already a frame perfect trick, but there's 2 at the end of this run that really do make a difference. And so this is the first one, as he will time the visual with pressing enter as you load back into the game. He gets it first try. Very nice job from Hetfield right there, making it look easy. And as Raziel is making his way through Misty right now, coming up towards the Misty mini-boss area, he's had a relatively good Misty, actually, after getting infinited by Sorrow. And he does the rocket jump as well. Very nice movement. And now we are going to actually get to see the ends of the run right here with the final grenade jump coming up. What do you think he's going to get a first try?
I think he has been very consistent with it in the runs that I've seen him go for it, so I believe he will. But there is a chance of soft locking. Luckily for him, even if he does soft lock, he can just restart the game, and Raz is far enough behind and that won't matter. But I think he's gonna get a first try here.
Huh?
What? He just stomped down, and I don't know what just happened there.
What in the world was that?
That was interesting.
Anyway.
That seems like it was out of bounds, but I'm sure it's fine.
I think he didn't really go anywhere. It just looked like he went into the edge of that like log. I've actually never seen that before.
That is a very interesting thing that just happened.
Yeah. I don't know what to really make of that. He does actually get a first try when he actually gets the setup proper. So, yeah, I think
with grenade jumping, it's just such a new trick. We really don't know kind of everything that can happen in the final escape.
Yeah, I think the ruling is set is fine because he actually didn't go anywhere because of it. He kind of just went outside again within the same area, so everything is fine with that. So
yes,
Hetfield with a 32.05, still a really great run. He beats his average again. Like, he just makes it lower. This is insane from Hetfield, man.
Yeah, Het with a low 32, still beating out the Ori community as a whole. It's pretty insane to think about Hetfield's times and how, pretty much besides, the grenade jumps, being able to, allow Elo and Sigma to get PBs, in the 31 range. Getting a 32.05 in a race is still pretty insane.
Yeah, and Raziel actually just did a little bit of grenade jump swag right there coming out as well. So both these guys going for a little bit of swag strats at the end right now. And I think Raziel knows that he is unfortunately out of the tournament now. So let's see if he goes for anything else on the way over to Horu. There are a couple, again, another grenade jumps that he can do. And let's see, he opts to go past this one right here. He's going to do the final one. Come on, Raziel, I believe. He gets it. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Beautiful by Raziel.
Beautiful from Raziel. Oh, man. So that is the power of grenade jumps right there, boys and girls. The most useful, obviously proving that light grenade is the best ability in the game because you can have strats like that.
Raz, knowing that he's out of the tournament, will he go for fist strats?
Ooh, that's actually a good question.
Now, that's a big question. No, he can do both.
That's true. He can do both. That's actually a good point.
Knowing that he's out of the tournament and knowing that nobody else in the tournament is going to be going for fish strats because it is now slower unless you get both. Will Raz appease our audience here by going for some fish strats? What do you think, Trojan?
Knowing his previous experience, that could either means he's definitely not going for it or he's doing it for the memes. One of the two. I'm not actually sure which one. I guess we'll find out here in a couple seconds.
We might even see him just kill the fish. You never know. What's he doing? All right. He's foregoing the fish.
And he is just going to go for the regular grenade jump setup.
You think he's going to get a first try?
And he does, yeah. Very, very nice. And he's out of there. Good job by Raziel. First try. Very, very clean setup from him. So GG to Raziel. And unfortunately, coming in with about a mid-35. And, man, that Sorrow pass was just brutal to watch. I think that was really the kind of the end for Raziel there and in this race. So about 3.5 minutes between these two. We'll get the official time coming up here. But that does mean that Hetfield is going to move on. He is going to play Epicat in the semifinals after he won the race against me yesterday. And do you have any kind of preliminary thoughts about that race as Raziel gets a 35-28 officially?
So with Epicat's consistency in this tournament, pretty much only being outdone by Hetfields with all these low 32s, Epicat has had pretty much solid, low 33s or with his race against you, a high 32. I think, Hetfield going to be the favorite, but we'll see how a week of rust kind of affects Hetfield as we are going forward in this tournament, and Hetfield going after Flameburger for that Mega Man Zero world record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, I as I kind of mentioned yesterday in the interview, the double interview me and Epicat did, I actually think that he has a better shot than Raziel. I think that Epicat undersells his ability sometimes, and he's going to make it a spaghetti fest. But even when he had like some major mistakes in the race against me yesterday, he still pulled out like a 32-45. So if he cleans up a bit of his play and he just kind of does a very like consistently good run over the course of it, I think he can get about what Hetfield got like in this race. So I don't think it's a for sure. And it looks like we are being joined by the winner himself, Mr. Hetfield. Congratulations, man. How are you feeling?
Yo, congratulations to Raziel on the default win. That was a pretty nice move out of bounds.
Nice out of bounds you had there.
Yeah, so what was going through your mind when that actually happened right there?
Well, I was like a dark purple, and that tree was pretty dark too. So I was like, am I out of bounds here? And I was like, I'm definitely out of bounds. And then I was like, well, since I could hardly tell, maybe no one else could tell either, so I might be able to get away with it. Yeah. But sure enough, that was not the case. So yeah.
So Het, you're going to be going up against Epicat. How are you feeling against that matchup?
Dude, it's going to be easy. Bob's literally
Ooh.
free.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Shots fired.
Oh man, that is a hot take right there. So what makes you feel that way? Just you think that he is just not that consistent? Like what makes you say something like that?
I just felt like memeing. I didn't actually mean that.
All right, fair enough. We're in the Ori community. We do it for the memes, man.
And on your stream yesterday, you were kind of talking about how grueling it is to have a week between every match, since your rust kind of builds up throughout that. And so, do you have plans to kind of practice throughout the week, or kind of do what you did today and kind of focus a lot, a couple days prior to your next race?
I mean, ideally, yeah. Depends on motivation. Procrastinating is not ideal, but I'll try to hopefully do like a no reset run a day or so.
Very nice. Yeah. And I noticed we kind of mentioned a little bit that you learned the 5 energy strats just to have that one extra safety save wherever you want to place it. Are you going to kind of go forward with that same mindset, or are you going to maybe try and implement some more movement in it as you get some more comfort with the 5 energy?
The main reason for the 5 energy is because it lets you do the charge dash, stomp, cancel, long juggle, and sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to do that otherwise unless you did, I don't know, something crazy with you have to go to like the teleporter and get the energy crystal or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
something like that.
Yeah, I don't really plan on doing any YOLO charge dashes or anything without safety saves and Misty in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe for PB attempts.
Very nice. Very nice.
And so coming up, we have tomorrow Hydra versus Terra, and then on Sunday Sigma versus Elo. What are your kind of thoughts on potential opponents? Who do you think is going to make it through on that half of the bracket?
Well, Terra has a pretty awesome accent, so I'm gonna go with him.
I can't disagree with you there.
Definitely can't.
Elo also with a pretty nice accent, I feel like.
I forgot. That's like the immovable object meets the unstoppable force. I can't even decide between that one.
One would say that both of their accents are very Fane. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm really excited for those races personally. I think that I can't honestly call any of those races because both of those guys, I think in both those races are all within a minute of each other. So I'm really looking forward to it as well. And that's, by the way, as Richard mentioned, is going to be the first one's going to be tomorrow on that half of the bracket between Hydra and Terra. And that's going to be at noon Eastern Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Pacific.
9 a.m. Pacific.
Yes, 9 a.m. Pacific. And that is going to be commentated by Fant and Hobbs. So that'll be awesome as well. So do you have any other thoughts before we sign off for the day, Richard?
I do not. I just want to give the opportunity to Hetfield. Having won that race, if you have any last words, go for it.
Grilled cheese is pretty good. It's better than the sum of its ingredients. Just want to point that out.
I agree.
Dude, I agree with that. That's a good take. I actually
Truck
agree
agrees
with that
as well.
Truck agrees. That's the important one that agrees with it. So yeah, Richard, thank you very much for commentating with me, man. And congrats, Hetfield, on the win as well.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone.
And stay tuned for more Ori tomorrow morning. Thank you.
He's going to kill it far, far away from this door where he actually needs to level up. and then he's gonna dash to the door, the XP chasing him, he gets the energy, he opens the door, and that is
Exactly. I think it's probably one of the most stupid threats that we have.
oh goodness, Monkley with the dodge. That was
I like floating laser turret, which you can imagine what that is. But yeah, I think they didn't mean for anybody to ever see these. Did you just see what Rufus did in that key?
I have never seen that. Is that faster?
Is that faster?
And it's very rewarding as well.
oh
Oh, he makes it! Wow.
Oh my god,
That was so close.
For the 5th energy. So it's going to put a temporary gap in between them, but it's going to. Oh my gosh!
What a nice adaptation to save it.
Races, and you watch someone who doesn't get the rocket jump up towards Sunstone, you might see them.
Whoa! He actually knocked that frog into the wall. He thought he was completely done for, but
He said, "I just don't want to die because if you don't save and you die here, it's real bad." So he's going to be taking a save.
Oh, wow. So Trojan got the shot. His shot looked extremely high, but he got it, and that's going to practically level this race right now.
Yeah, as you can see, they're now in the same cutscene, and Terra has to go up to the spirit well.
That's really where you're supposed to need all this wind without using the wind. He also went for a ridiculously risky trick there, where he skipped through that.
spent like 4 minutes in door. Oh, Meldon, can he make it back to the lane? What a beautiful charge dash from Meldon to save himself. That was absolutely insane. And yes, please take that safety step.
All he has to do here is get to the end of the game. That's his only target, whereas Cheese is on his way to Misty Woods. He's going to be going. Wow!
Oh, Rastiel, no! Oh my god, Rastiel, no!
I can't believe
Oh my god.
Think about that. So, just little things like that. Strategy getting to. Oh, goodness. Oh, the laser! Oh, god.
Oh man.
Coming out of.
Melvin, first miss for Melvin, second miss for Ruben. 3rd attempt, Ruben misses on the 3rd attempt. Melvin misses on the 2nd attempt. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Ruben, 4th attempt, misses. Melvin gets it on the 3rd attempt, and he takes the lead for the first time. Ruben got it! But Ruben gets it as well. I'm losing my mind here because they're actually come down execution on the final escape.
Dropping falling trees and boulders, and the whole time Kuro, the main villain, is chasing you, and you have to escape. Wait. Oh no, he bonks unfortunately. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's time.
This is so close to time. It's a really swag strat that only saves 2 seconds and has the potential to lose you over a minute.
He's going for it again.
He's going for it again. The absolute madman.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Oh no!
Brindle's in the lead! Guys, okay, let's see if Brindle goes for fish strats. If he just plays it safe, he has this in the bag. He can't lose from here. He's not doing fish strats. Brindle's got this.